Imagine a room without corners, walls curving gently so nothing can hide in sharp angles. Every secret forced to lounge out in the open, like a lazy cat. The ceiling hangs low, not oppressively, just enough to make the piano sound closer. Its notes bouncing back with a softness that erases any memory of echo. You and I sit almost in the middle, because there is no real edge, only degrees of closeness and distance measured by how loudly the bass can be heard in our ribs. My lyrics tonight effuse narrative, arriving as simple images tossed into the circle one by one. A blue cup, a torn ticket, a streetlight at noon, an unread letter, your hand hovering. The rhythm breathes irregularly, inhaling on the upbeats, exhaling on the rests, like someone learning to trust their own lungs after a long, careful silence. You tilt your head, following the melody as it bends around an unexpected chord, and I feel the moment you decide to forgive something you have never spoken aloud. The drums barely touch the skins, offering tiny remarks instead of sentences, while the bass threads a patient line beneath everything, stitching stray phrases into a loose, forgiving fabric. In this room without corners, emotions have nowhere to accumulate dust. They keep rolling gently toward the center, bumping into one another, trading colors, softening by the last chorus. Words are almost unnecessary, syllables dissolve into vowels, vowels into breath, and breath into a quiet tone that belongs more to the space than to me. When the final note fades, nothing feels resolved, yet nothing feels unfinished either, as if the song simply chose a different shape for closure. A circle still turning somewhere just beyond our hearing.
In the corner of the bar, the old clock ticks with a stubborn accent. Its hands slightly misaligned, drowning slowly in the amber glow that spills from tired lamps. Time here is never exact, minutes stretch and shrink like rubber bands, forgotten in a drawer, snapping only when a loud laugh or dropped glass startles the air. I sit by the piano, to play the melody straight, letting notes fall in clumps and clusters, little rebellions tumbling down the keys. Your chair faces away from me, angled toward the window where night presses its forehead against the glass, pretending not to listen. My voice slips around the groove, entering where no one expects a phrase, then stopping abruptly, as if it tripped over invisible memory left on the floor. The bass player smiles without looking up, following every detour, walking sideways, then backward, then suddenly standing still for an entire bar just to see who keeps breathing. You stir your drink long after the ice has surrendered, tapping the rim in a pattern that does not match the clock, the drums, or my heart choosing its own peculiar tempo. Conversations blur into a soft carpet of murmurs, and every so often a single word rises above the others like a buoy, then sinks again before meaning can fully form. I sing about nothing and everything, loose images of trains, wet shoes, lost tickets, broken umbrellas, throwing them into the room like cards from an unfinished deck. The clock keeps drowning in its small circle of light, and we keep ignoring its flailing hands, inventing a different rhythm in which staying is always on time and leaving never quite finds its cue.
The airport lounge hums with recycled air and unfinished stories. Every departure board flickering like a nervous metronome, unable to decide which tempo heartbreak should choose tonight. I cradle a paper cup of lukewarm coffee, its surface trembling each time someone wheels a suitcase past, tiny ripples mapping the footsteps of strangers headed toward cleaner endings. Over hidden speakers, a thin piano tries to sound cheerful, but the chords keep slipping into minor colors, betraying the script with every unresolved turn. I hum along under my breath, twisting the melody into something crooked, letting phrases start in the middle of measures, refusing the comfort of tidy beginnings. You text from another gate, 3 sentences arriving like staggered notes, delayed, exhausted, thinking, each one landing just off the emotional downbeat. The bass exists only in my imagination here, a steady invisible thrum beneath the fluorescent buzz, giving weight to the parts of me tempted to float away. Announcements overlap in several languages, vowels blending into a long droning pad that could almost be a synth if sadness owned an airline. I write lyrics on the back of my boarding pass, words about escalators, glass reflections, way people become silhouettes against duty-free lights, then suddenly faces again when they turn. My plane boards early, yours does not, and the asymmetry feels like a chord with one note missing. Still beautiful, but undeniably tilted. As we lift into the clouded sky, the city below dissolves into streaks of orange and white. And I press my forehead to the window, listening to the cabin noise reshape itself into a kind of rhythm. Somewhere between ascent and cruising altitude, it occurs that transit is not a place between destinations. It is its own ghostly home, where all the almost versions of us quietly wait. Paper windows breathe with the wind, thin panels shivering like nervous lungs. Each time the alley sighs, letting fractured shapes of light crawl carefully across the floor. The room is almost empty, just a low table, a chipped cup, and the piano crouched in the corner like a quiet animal waiting for permission to move. You sit on the sill, knees drawn close, watching silhouettes pass beyond the paper, their gestures reduced to gentle blurs like a motion scene from another lifetime. I test a few chords, modal steps, sliding upward then sideways, never quite landing where tradition would expect, as if the harmony were also made of thin paper and reluctant glue. My song for you tonight is made of short lines tied together loosely, leaving space for your thoughts to slip in without knocking. You answer not with words, but with a soft tapping of your heel against the wooden frame, finding off beats I had not considered, shaping the rhythm from the outside. The bass enters like ink, spreading through water, slow and inevitable, staining the air with a pulse that feels older than either of us. A distant motorcycle coughs, a neighbor laughs, a pot lid rattles downstairs, each sound joining our fragile arrangement like uninvited but welcome guests. The paper windows flicker again, and for a moment your shadow overlaps mine on the floor, taller than, thinner than, gone like a promise reconsidered mid-sentence. By the time the tune curls back to its starting note, night is pushed firmly against every panel, and the only things left clearly outlined are the keys under my fingers and the quiet curve of your listening. The record turns with a faint hiss, dust on the needle sketching a soft constellation of noise above the first quiet chord, like distant rain rehearsing against a dry window. Your hand hovers above the volume knob, undecided, as though loudness might make the memories too sharp, while silence might erase them altogether. The singer on the record stretches one syllable into a fragile bridge, and I cross it with my own humming, slightly out of tune, but honest in its imbalance. The piano there is thinner, older, recorded in a room that swallowed low frequencies, yet the bass still finds a way to murmur beneath gravelly and loyal. We sit on the floor, backs against a couch that has heard everything, letting the music pour over us in uneven waves, sometimes clear, sometimes warped by age. I start inventing new lyrics over the old melody, laying fresh colors on a worn photograph, not to hide the cracks, but to trace them more tenderly. You close your eyes, tapping one finger lightly against your knee, missing the downbeat every time, landing just after, like someone always arriving, breathless but determined. The needle pops, jumps forward, skipping an entire bar where a confession once lived. We do not move to lift it back. Maybe some pieces deserve their vanishing act, their sudden door out of the narrative. The record keeps spinning, even after the sound is gone. A silent carousel turning under the dim lamp, and for a while we simply listen to the soft mechanical circle, hearing in it every unfinished phrase we still carry.
Under fading street lanterns, the city forgets its sharp outlines, trading them for smudge halos, drifting lazily above the pavement, like tired thoughts that miss their chance to matter. We walk without touching, our shadows overlapping only when a passing car throws sudden light, then pulling apart again. Strangers stitched temporarily by someone else's headlights. The piano from a basement bar reaches us in crooked fragments. Chords cut in half by swinging doors and impatient conversations, each piece landing on the sidewalk like a question without context. I start humming along, catching only every third note, turning the gaps into a pattern that feels almost intentional, almost like composure, almost like composure, almost like composure. You talk about work, about deadlines and numbers, but your hands keep counting something else entirely. Small invisible beats on your coat sleeves whenever silence threatens to swallow our steps. The bass thumps faintly through the concrete, a heart 2 floors down, beating for people we will never meet, yet somehow understand tonight. drizzle begins, barely visible, just enough to blur the reflections of traffic lights and puddles that have memorized every hurried shoe. My voice slips behind the rhythm of your words, answering where you do not expect, landing on the offbeats of your stories, turning them sideways until they look almost gentle. For a moment you stop, listening to a police siren become an accidental harmony above the distant saxophone, all of it swirling together in the moist night air. You say this street always feels like a sketch, never a finished painting, and I think maybe that is why we return here, to live inside outlines that never demand to be completely filled.
The bathroom mirror blooms with steam, turning our reflections into watercolor rumors, soft edges running before they can decide which face to keep. Your outline appears, disappears, reappears in small, uncertain pulses. A heartbeat drawn in fog on cool glass, wiping itself out before the rhythm feels predictable. I trace a circle where your cheek might be, my fingertip leaving a sudden clear window that frames only a fragment of your expression, surprised and then quickly guarded. Behind the door, the piano leaks in from another room, its chords wandering along a scale that never quite resolves, like someone pacing a narrow balcony, afraid of both heights and ground. My song begins as a whisper, barely carrying consonants, just vowels stretched over offbeat breaths, folding around the slow slide of water on tile. You answer with a joke about ghosts and condensation, but your voice cracks on the smallest word, a tiny fracture almost erased by the laugh that follows too quickly. The bass somewhere below climbs a hesitant staircase of notes, touching each step only long enough to prove it exists, then moving on. I think about all the cells we carry into each morning, some washed away, some clinging stubbornly like mist that refuses the open window when I clear the glass completely. Our faces look almost aligned, but not quite. Your eyes are a fraction higher, your mouth a fraction darker, as though time tilted your side of the frame. The mirror begins to fog again at the edges, slowly closing in around our twin silhouettes, and we let it, saying nothing, letting the music and the steam decide which parts of us will remain visible tonight. There is a hallway in my memory lined with quiet rooms, each door half open, humming with a different version of us that never learned how to finish a sentence. The floor creaks on the offbeats, wooden boards answering the slow, restless bass with their own tired rhythm, as if the building were improvising alone, half asleep, but still listening. In one room, your coat hangs on the chair, rainwater slowly surrendering to the air, turning into a scent I could follow even with my eyes closed. Another room holds only a window, a piano with one missing key, the melody stepping carefully around the gap, pretending the absence was always part of the song. My voice wanders between these spaces, slipping under doorways like late evening light, sometimes clear, sometimes broken by the edges of picture frames and stack boxes. You stand at the far end, a silhouette leaning against the exit sign, reading the red letters as though they were instructions for feeling less or more. You have not decided yet. Every chord we do not play settles softly on the ceiling, tiny clouds of possibility collecting above the lamps, until the heat makes them rain very gentle doubts. I listen for your footsteps, counting the irregular echoes, trying to guess which door you will choose, which memory you will open, and step inside like a coat. When the clock finally misses a beat, the hallway tilts just slightly, and all the rooms shift closer together, their muffled sounds overlapping in a slow, tender collision. Somewhere in that blur, I hear you laugh, startled and honest, and for one fragile bar, the music remembers how to move forward without looking back.
Tonight unravels in loose threads, pulling quietly from the edges of conversation, where your eyes keep drifting away like small boats, slipping their ropes at a forgotten pier. The piano sketches crooked constellations above us, scattered chords hanging patiently, waiting for a melody, brave enough to admit it does not know where home is anymore. My voice arrives in fragments of vowels and breath, landing off the beat, sliding past the places where a cleaner story would stitch itself together without leaving scars. You turn your glass slowly, tracing invisible circles, and every rotation redraws the distance between us, wider than, closer than, something shapeless floating somewhere in between touch and retreat. Outside the window, red lights smear across wet asphalt, as if the street itself were trying to remember names of strangers who pass without looking up. I talk about the radio, about a song from earlier, about anything that can keep us hovering on the surface. Because diving would mean discovering how deep this quiet has grown. The bass walks sideways, not forward, pacing like someone rehearsing the courage to knock on an unfamiliar door. You smile with only half your mouth, and even that smile seems borrowed from another evening. Another city where we almost met, but chose different train. There is a question folded neatly behind your teeth, pressed sharp like a secret note in a pocket. But the rhythm keeps breaking, and the moment to ask it slips off the table. So we sit in this unraveling night, letting the fabric fall in slow motion, watching each thread catch the dim light before it disappears into the soft, forgiving dark beneath our feet. Shivering glasses on the table, hum with yesterday. Every rim catching a leftover word you never voiced. Circling slowly like trains passing through fog-bound stations where nobody waits with clear directions or maps. My fingers trace water halos, thin silver rings, dissolving into one another, gentle collisions without sound, like glances barely landing before they slide away again into shadowy corners. You laugh from another room, the echo bending around the doorway, arriving late, clipped at the edges as though time forgot how to move in a single straight line. Between the piano notes, air stretches and frays, threads of silence dangling loosely, swinging above the bass that walks soft but stubborn along the floorboards. I hum against the glass, my breath clouding the view, smearing lights into uncertain shapes, floating above the city, pieces of neon and rain folding into one shimmering, restless curtain. Your name sits unfinished on my tongue, just a syllable rolling back and forth, never quite landing, like a coin spinning on its its rim until it finally chooses a side. Outside, car horns blur into distant horns from an invisible harbor, calling ships that only exist in dreams, or maybe in the spaces between thoughts. Nobody is paying attention anymore. The clock on the wall drops seconds like marbles, scattered across the carpet, rolling into places we will forget to search in the morning. I think of all the conversations we almost had, sentences abandoned mid-air, like jackets on the backs of empty chairs, still warm, still breathing, waiting for bodies that change their minds halfway through the doorway. In this room, every small sound is a doorway cracked open, and every doorway leads to a different version of us, dissolving gently